An Unconventional Threesome is a comedy podcast hosted by three rude, crude, and tattooed dudes. We tell you this so you can shield your children's eyes and cover their ears. If you don't, we're not responsible for the fun and exciting new words that they start using. Enjoy.
Welcome to the show, yeah, it's a blast. Turn the volume up, we got to laugh. Every joke's a hit, you'll have a fit. Sit back, relax, let's start this bit. Tuned in live from the internet's heart, where every word is a work of art. Comedy gold, it never gets old. Jump aboard, let the fun unfold.
Welcome to An Unconventional Threesome, a conversation podcast that is hosted by three dudes who have absolutely no business having a podcast. My name is John, and I am your cluster of fuck.
I'm D Money, and I'm here with a sex appeal.
And Jay's here too, in the United States.
So, did you get your wallet back yet?
I did, actually. I texted you, Jamokes, when I got it.
Yeah, but unfortunately, our listeners are not part of our text thread, you dick.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Fucking twat.
But yes, I did get my wallet back. Surprisingly, my last landlord was nice enough to let me know it showed up.
And everything was in it, unaltered.
Yeah, everything was still in there, and
They didn't take your license out and draw a mustache on it.
no, I mean, they probably saw what I was working with and just decided, nah, he's already living in hell.
They could have at least popped a loony in there and thrown you a Tim Hortons receipt or something.
God, I don't even know where the closest Tim Hortons is. It's probably a bit.
I feel like I just saw one recently while I was up north. I'm gonna have to frickin' look it up though.
I don't think we had any in the States. I heard it was not as good as everyone makes it out to be.
It's not as good. We've got some further out west because I have been stateside and stopped at a TH's.
They definitely have them in Rhode Island because I had a friend that lived there, and they would frequent Tim Hortons.
Holy crap. Find a location nearby. USA. Because I'm an American.
I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every. Name it, D.
That's Hulk Hogan's intro music.
Well done, sir. You're off to a hot start.
If we're gonna talk wrestling, though, CM Punk is number one, or Triple H.
Dude, fucking Undertaker, you bitch. Man's dead. He's died multiple times.
Did I really just hear you say CM Punk?
Yeah, him or Triple H. Those are my top two.
Oh god, you're not allowed to have opinions, man. I feel like you're doing this just to irritate me.
Scotty Too Hottie, Rafiki,
Oh, sweet
Hornswoggle.
Oh, Hornswoggle.
God damn, who were some of the other big names when I watched it?
Johnny Nitro.
Sting was NCW.
See, when I was watching wrestling, Sting was on TNA.
Yeah, we got a bunch of, back to the other subject, we got a bunch of Tim Hortons. 697 locations in the US, mostly in
Huh.
New York and Michigan.
I thought that was strictly a Canada thing.
Oh, apparently they invaded.
Turns out you're wrong.
They probably just went to the border and said, I'm an American. And they're like, oh, come on in.
We should invade.
Whoa.
It'd be one good way to get rid of your ass.
Oh, Booker T's another one. Sandman? No, Boogeyman. Where he ate the
Boogeyman.
fucking earthworms.
Yep. Sandman was also dope.
Sandman. I don't know that one.
He was a crazy dude who would smash a Budweiser on his forehead.
Stone Cold Steve Austin?
He didn't smash him on his head.
Oh, he just smashed him in the air.
Exactly.
You sure you're not confusing that with Spider-Man?
Pretty sure.
Well, if this is your first time joining us, this is a podcast where three dudes just sit around and talk and debate about nothing in particular. Most of the topics are pretty mundane, but occasionally we'll strike a mine and go at each other over certain shit. You guys ready for the first topic?
Bring
Heck yeah.
Lawn care tactics. I don't think we can get any more fucking mundane than lawn care tactics.
Grow food, not lawns. That way it's not your fault if it looks like hammered shit.
So I'm very much against growing grass and having the greenest lawn in the neighborhood. We're currently working on setting up our front yard to just be a bunch of wildflowers to help with the bee issues and pollination and stuff. So that's kind of my tactic on it, is allow the wildflowers and quote unquote weeds to do their thing, because they do actually help and contribute to society.
We actually have over 200 pollinator bushes, flowers, whatever you'd like to call them, plants that we've done. As far as the grass itself is concerned, one person in my house would prefer that it looked like Augusta, and the other one is me, because it's a lot of work. And yeah, I'm not a fan of ticks, so mow it because I don't want tick death when I go out there. But otherwise, I want to expand the garden. Hell with it.
Have you heard of this thing that apparently is popping up this year, No Mow May?
No, but I feel like we have to just do something for the month constantly. What do we got here?
Apparently, I wasn't supposed to mow my lawn last weekend, and in reality, I didn't mow at all. I just kind of cut the grass down in the front yard so I can start killing it more effectively. But yeah, apparently there's something going around this year. Do not mow until like the 1st of June to allow for the pollinators to get their fix.
So here's my issue with that. I was gone for a week and a half, and we've been getting a lot of rain. So before I left, it was probably worth a mow. Dude, I came back and I was dodging lionesses in the fucking savanna that was my yard while I was trying to mow. So yeah, if I waited another 2 weeks after what I had, I'd be out there with a fucking sickle.
Like I said, I hadn't mowed it at all this year. And then last weekend, I was like, fine, I got to do something. It's starting to look ridiculous. And, we've dug up certain areas and planted flowers, but not other areas because we're putting clover there and other different types of ground cover. I'm like, this just looks stupid right now. So I grabbed my weed whacker and went out there and started taking shit down. And like you were saying, though, some spots I would lose my dog, who, when she stands up on her hind legs, is her paws are on my shoulders, and I'm 6'2". She's a fucking monster, and I could lose my dog. It was it was a friggin' hayfield in certain spots.
D, thoughts on lawn care?
Let's see. I like the natural look, not 70s, but natural.
Trimmed.
Yeah, trimmed but not bare. But I think there's got to be a mix between a nice, clean yard, but also not overly done, because then you just kill off the bees.
The entire time we were out there planting flowers and digging up grass, I was wearing my Save the Bees hat. So I really sticking it to, getting the point across.
Yeah, we've got, like I told you, we've got all those pollinators at the end of the yard. We've got an actual full-on pollinator garden. And the cool part about that is butterflies pollinate as well. And since they're migratory, a couple of times a year, we're almost like a truck stop for monarchs and whatever else. Just dozens of them will show up. It's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool. We have a butterfly bush that was gifted to us, and it doesn't bloom until like the latter part of the summer and into the fall. And I'm just staring at this thing, and I'm like, it's pretty fucked up right now. I don't know if it's gonna come back this year. There's absolutely zero indication of greenery on it, and I don't know if it's supposed to yet or not. I should probably Google it.
I think you'll be fine because I've got one by the kitchen door, and it just looks like a sad, like,
Stick.
yeah, it just looks like a broken thing, and it does every year. Then when the greenery comes back, it's like a 6 foot by 6 foot bush by the time it's done. Like I can't go out that door because it's blocking. So it'll come back.
All right, I won't dig it up then. I have been trying to plant non-native flowers too, so we'll see how that goes, like some Scottish thistle.
Yeah.
I don't know how well that's gonna go though.
We've been doing herb gardening, and I don't mean Fuma la Herbia gardening. I mean like lavender and mint and other kinds of cool stuff.
We also planted mint a few years ago, but we opted to not plant it in any of our beds because
It will
that
take
shit
over.
will take over.
Yeah.
And it's in a spot between my house and my shed. There's like a little walkway, and it's on the side of the walkway where we planted it. And I hit that area with the weed whacker too, because the mower just doesn't do a great job through there. And you can always tell when I've snagged one or two bits of mint, because all of a sudden you get, oh, yep, that's whoopsie daisy, I got some of the mint.
Suddenly you're in an Irish Spring commercial.
Yeah. Well, one of the pieces of ground cover we planted a number of years ago at this point that's finally starting to take off is creeping time. And same thing as if I hit that with the weed whacker, it's like, ooh, I'm in an Italian restaurant now. It kind of launches us into another topic with plants. How do you feel about house plants?
They're growing on me.
That's usually what they do.
Yeah. No, we've started to name them, and that got a little dicey because they don't exactly live that long. But they're they're multiplying in the household, I'll tell you that. My only concern is they get little bugs, and then those bugs bug you, and that's not cool.
Well, right at the beginning of COVID, I started getting into having house plants at the house. That's usually where you have house plants.
As opposed to at the auto mechanic. Gotcha.
Um, and it was fine because I have, the window right behind me. I'm working at home. It was great. I could take care of them, and it became more of like an obsession. And I started, handing out little pips of stuff so people could have what I had. And then as soon as I left the house for my current job, where I work in an office again, they died. But I also had to be super careful because I have animals, and my cats are assholes and will fucking eat anything that I don't want them to. So I had to really limit it on what I could and couldn't have in the house.
You know those long trailing plants? Like they just keep growing and growing, like Rapunzel type stuff?
Pothos,
Yeah.
de- uh,
So
devil's ivy.
we had a couple of them, and we put shelves up, and I was talking to the wife about it a year ago when we put the shelves up. I was like, I don't know how much weight these things can hold. Oh, it'll be fine. Well, crash happened now that you brought it up about a week ago. And one of the plants that needs a serious haircut decided it wasn't going to beat gravity, and it dropped 6 feet, and that's what we heard. And it made a mess. So now it's on a table, so it only has 2 feet to fall. Hasn't gotten a haircut yet. But at least the shelf didn't rip out of the fucking wall.
Well, what I did with my pothos, because the cats I had before these ones were okay. They didn't eat poisonous things like fucking idiots. I just took a metal coat hanger, and I would just continue to wrap it around itself, and it actually turned into like this cool like tombstone looking thing. It was like actually kind of cool. But I had to adopt it out because, like I said, my cats are dipshits.
Make sure you keep the detergent under the sink locked up for those cats.
When we bought our house, it had child locks on the cabinets, and I haven't taken them off for that reason. I have 0 children.
Well, that's why you got to open everything for D when he comes over to visit, because he'll just look at you dumbfounded, looking at the doors and cabinets.
No, I'm pretty savvy when it comes to those. I can open them pretty well.
You know what childproof thing drives me fucking bonkers is the things that you put over the door handles that if you just grab it, it continues to turn. You basically got to stick your thumb and your middle finger in there to turn. I can't. I'm a big dude, but I don't have the fucking grip strength on some of these goddamn doors to just turn it with 2 fucking fingers. It drives me fucking bonkers.
And the only thing worse than those is trigger locks.
Or the gates that people put at the tops of stairs. Every single one of them fucking works differently, and I just get to stand there like a fucking moron trying to figure out this gate. I am a 35-year-old man. It shouldn't be this hard.
At least you're tall enough to step over. If I do that, I Peter Pan right down the fucking staircase with the gate attached to my nuts.
Do you have any houseplants?
Fuck no. My days are full trying to keep my kids and my everyone else alive. Fuck that. Last year or the year before, my dad got me a cayenne pepper plant and a tomato plant. Surprisingly, didn't kill those off too fast. But no, and I don't get the trend of houseplants. Just seems like too much work.
It's funny because I noticed there was a noticeable difference in the air quality in the office where I had them.
Yeah.
Which makes me want them even more, but the way my house is set up is absolute shite. So it makes it tough.
I've noticed the air quality difference too, and this is the thing I've heard. Physical therapist told me this a while ago. She said, "Yeah, since so few people have kids now, pets are the new kids, and plants are the new pets."
Huh.
Which maybe is why I've been naming them, and I talk to them here and there, or maybe I'm just having a fucking psychotic episode. We don't know.
Maybe you should try playing music for one and not the other and see if one grows differently than the other, or play 2 different types of music. Just get some, Beats by Dre and put it around its little pot and let it go.
How many old people do you think you guys could fight?
What kind of defines space? Because if you can hit it like, the Spartans at Thermopylae there, I'm gonna say until I get tired. Kind of like, if you got to fight somebody you're in a stall, you can just keep kicking and you're fine. But the next question is how old? So how define the
right.
space and how old?
Yeah, am I just in a nursing home going first person shooter through this thing and just beating people as they come at me, or
That would just be too easy. They don't put up any fight there.
and going back to what Jay was saying, if I got them funneled into one area, like in a stall, like Jay said, I could probably go for a while.
Yeah, so are we talking what kind of weapons on both sides? How old is old? And what kind of defined space? You got to give us the parameters, D.
So I'm thinking this will be in an empty warehouse. So, no funneling.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have any weapons. You just got
Do they?
the meat hammers on the end of your arms. The old people, they have their canes and walkers though.
Okay, and how old? See, this is the pivotal part. How old?
I'm gonna say they range from 50 to 70.
Did you say
50?
50?
Yeah.
So Jay, you don't have to fight anybody.
I'm good. I'm coming after your ass. Yeah, so just for the record, you got to be north of 80 to be considered old at this point, medically. So if you're talking a range, so we'll split the difference. We'll call it a warehouse full of 60-year-olds. what in the fuck 50-year-old has a cane and a walker first and foremost? Let's circle back to that and your fucking math. Yeah, see, that's going to be harder because, I mean, D, you don't have to answer, but your father falls in that range, doesn't he?
He is. He's 53, 54.
Okay, I feel like he would stomp a mud hole in you. So
I
how
don't
can he be
know.
an old
I
person?
don't know. That guy, he's got a rebuilt hip, rebuilt shoulder.
That means he's bionic. He's new.
Rebuilt. It's better.
I don't know. I'd take my chances.
Oh, he's a big dude. I wouldn't fuck with him.
I feel like the old man strength would baby hippo your ass right into the concrete floor of that warehouse.
There's a good chance, but I'd still take my chances. I'm faster. I feel like
You're faster.
than he is. Yeah.
And if he's got a cane, he's just gonna home run your ass.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you're going back to age 50 to 70, maybe 2 or 3 is all you're gonna get. If you get lucky and you get some hobbled ones
Are you serious?
on the top end of that. If you want to crank it up to like, 80 something where they actually need the canes and the walkers, then yeah, a much higher number.
You're also talking an open warehouse. So we're talking probably, 100, 200 feet by 1,000 feet. You're going to have the issues of people coming in behind you. So yeah, if it's coming in a horde mentality, yeah, 2, 3 at the 50 to 70. If we're talking retirement age
Yeah.
to 90, yeah, I could probably fight them off for a while. I mean, I do know some spry 70-year-olds, but
So D, here's a question. I want some perspective for you. Maybe it'll change your age range. Joe Rogan would fucking obliterate you, right?
Who would?
Joe Rogan?
I don't know who that is.
Yes, you do.
Joe Rogan.
Oh, Joe Rogan. I'm sorry. It sounded like Jay was deep throating his microphone for a second. Yeah, I know who Joe Rogan is. He's an anonymous.
You mean
Oh, no, 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 no. No, hang on. Let's let D figure this one out.
Abnormality.
The man is in his 50s. He might not be the rule, he might be the exception, but think of a lot of dudes in his age bracket. I feel like it's a coin flip. So 50 is too young for that. I think you got to be
All right.
above 75.
75 is just too easy. I wholeheartedly don't think I'd have an issue wiping out a whole retirement home of 65 and over. I don't think I'm going to have an issue with that.
I feel like I want to arrange a battle royale with a bunch of people who just got Medicare. And
Yo, this is the new 100 men versus a gorilla. It's 1D money versus 100 old people.
What's my motivation?
Yeah, like why are we fighting? Why are we so violent to our
Have you ever
elders?
been to a retirement home? Sometimes those
yeah.
people just stare. Sometimes they just need a good smacking. No, I'm just kidding. Don't fight the old people.
Man, they're looking at you for an escape.
I went to this was like years and years ago. I went down to Florida to go see my grandfather and his mother, so my great grandmother was in a retirement home.
Hang on a second. Is this the same grandfather that had the Velveeta and peanut butter sandwiches?
No, and it's Velveeta and banana, not peanut butter.
Fucking whatever. Because, yeah, that shit deserves to be hit.
But we were at the retirement home, and there's this one old lady in a wheelchair. She was just staring at me, and no matter where we went, there she was, just slowly scooting around, following us. And I don't think I've ever been so uncomfortable.
And your first thought was, I want to punch this person?
I'm going to take this moment to say how sad Alzheimer's and dementia is, and it's terrible to watch.
Yeah, that too. But
Dick.
you ever see those horror movies where like the old people, they're up to something? That's what was going on. Also, do you guys know that they be fucking in those retirement homes?
That's
like
all they do. That's all they do, man.
Yeah, Florida has the highest STD rate.
Yeah, well, you go to the villages down there, and it's just hundreds of thousands of people just doing unprotected discusso.
Gertrude can't get pregnant.
Yeah, I was gonna say, ain't no 16 and pregnant there.
Might have 60 and pregnant, but
So, D, I got to circle back to this. You see a infirmed elderly person, and the first thing you think of is, I'm gonna punch this bitch in the face.
Nah, she didn't get too close.
But had she gotten close, you were just gonna right cross her into the next fucking world? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think I just probably put one of her brakes on her wheels on her wheelchair. She didn't look strong enough to unlock that.
So you're gonna wait until she got that close to the pudding and just out of reach. Let me lock this on you.
dude, when I was visiting nursing homes for all the family members I've had in there, I got pretty fucking good at doing wheelies in wheelchairs.
Oh yeah, my buddy, when he got back from Afghanistan, he because he got hit with an IED or IED over there. So when he came home, he was in a wheelchair, and he let me play around in it for a while. I was almost jealous, almost.
All right, this sounds like a good time to bring in our advertiser of this week. So we'll go ahead, get that played, and then we'll be right back.
Funny stories late at night. Every episode is a treat. Get ready for something sweet.
Hi, I'm Kelly from Kelly's Kegel Coaching. I am here to tell you that there is a solution for that weak pelvic floor, and that is by joining my program, Kelly's Kegel Coaching. What does my program entail, you may be asking yourself? Well, it's 29 7-hour-long videos showing you just what you need to do in order to get that strength back up to where it needs to be. You can join this amazing program for just $99.99 per video. This price will only be available for a limited time, so call us now at 1-800-555-GUSH. That's 1-800-555-GUSH. Operators are standing by and waiting for your call. Bye!
This ad is not sponsored by any sort of real company, and the advice given in the ad is not real. It's some total made-up bullshit. Please don't call that number, as I have no idea where it goes, or even if it's real. And we are back. I have a user-submitted question. Would you rather have a dick for a nose or a nose for a dick?
Hmm.
And it does not swap out. You just have two of it.
Okay, so if I had a dick for a nose, I'd still have a dick for a dick.
Yes.
Um,
That would take the term riding your face to a whole new level.
Heyo. So here's my question. If I had the nose for the dick, how am I peeing? Is it like a sneeze? Like, do I have to sneeze every time I pee?
And I am so proud of you. That was my question too. Good for you with the critical thinking.
That shit would be inconvenient.
Hadn't thought of that part of it. I was more considered of the proximity to other orifices in that area.
And also, it depends. Whose nose and whose dick?
Your own.
Oh, then I'm putting my nose on my dick. I need to get some extra length.
Well, you're not putting it on it. It just replaces it.
Fine, I'm still getting at least another inch.
Well, I was thinking if I put my dick on my nose, it would just look like this cute little button. I think it would actually be smaller than my nose.
Now, when you sneeze, what's coming out?
Oh boy. Definitely something.
I would say, just because I don't like to have attention on me, I think a nose for a dick would be a better choice.
Podcast.
And to the user that submitted this, though, there's BetterHelp and other places you can go to get some assistance and maybe some guidance.
No, that was a good question. That was a good question. That's just like, there was a good question of would you rather watch your parents have sex?
Oh, no, I'm out. Okay, bye. I'm
But
leaving.
have it go for 24 hours or join for 2 minutes and then have it end?
Oh, I fucking hate you.
I feel like it would take me less than 2 minutes to just put blankets over them with my eyes shut, technically joining and participating.
I thought you were about to say you just be done in 2 minutes.
I think it would take me less than 2 minutes to start a shotgun. There is help available if you are contemplating suicide. I think the number's 988. The world cares? Better with you
does.
in it?
More people to submit questions.
Jay, do you have an opinion on what appendage you'd like where?
Oh, I would absolutely put my nose where that other thing is.
Are you afraid to say dick?
No,
Say it.
pee.
What did you guys want to be when you grew up?
Not this.
No, obviously. Fucking obviously
We
not.
took wrong turns in a lot of fucking spots to get here.
Wrong turns. I made a fucking U-turn a while ago.
I mean, I did want to be on a very successful podcast, so we got that going for us.
When did that happen for you, D?
But yeah, no, I wanted to be like, this might be hard to believe, but even growing up, I was kind of I went one end of the spectrum to the other. So I either wanted to be like a marine biologist. It might very well be. Never been tested, but I got a good feeling about it.
One end of the spectrum to the other. You mean you're still the spectrum you're still on is what you're referring to.
Yeah, because like I wanted to be either a marine biologist slash, because it was always a slash, the person that did the cool tricks on Shamu at SeaWorld. This was before I found out about how bad it was. But also wanted to be like, you guys know at the Boston Aquarium, those people in the penguin exhibit.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to be that. But then also,
So a glorified janitor.
yeah, but I also kind of wanted to be a chef.
I mean, it all depends on the age for me, because when I was in grade school, I wanted to be a fucking astronaut. And when I was at the actual age of picking a career, I wanted to be a police officer. And then when I actually hit the career world, none of that happened. And now I'm a paper salesman at a mid-range paper company.
Yeah, I mean, I'm over here selling propane and propane accessories. And I'm going to tell you, in the last 10 years of my life, I've had more thoughts about what I should have done with my life when the time came to make those decisions than I did beforehand. I thought I was going to be fine. And then, yeah, not really.
I think this is just a perfect example. If we have any younger viewers, it doesn't get better when you get older. It's just downhill. As soon as you hit 18, nothing else gets better.
All right, hang on one second. I feel like I have to actually put this in now. Suicide hotline number 988. I was right. Yeah, if you're having those deep dark thoughts, call them, not me.
And why were you listening to us if you were having those deep, dark thoughts? We're not going to help you.
Because we're a bunch of fucking joy. All right, you motherfuckers roll into a parking lot. What is your prime parking spot of choice?
Far away from everybody and not in a everyone pulls in and out lane.
It also depends on where are we.
Where are you? I said 10:30.
Why does that make a difference, D?
Because if I'm at the grocery store, I like to be near the cart corral. One, because I got kids, so it's easy just to take them from the cart, fucking yeet them into the car, and bring it back, and not be too far from the car. Also, this is a good segue. What are your thoughts on returning the cart? Go ahead, because I do have a strong feeling on this.
Yeah, I have a strong feeling about it too, but I've got another strong feeling about something else you brought up. In this world where you bring your kids to the grocery store with you, it doesn't make any motherfucking sense to bring the entire goddamn Brady Bunch to the fucking grocery store. One adult with opposable thumbs and a credit card and a car handles all of that shit. You have a list, you have a plan, you take up less space, you piss off fewer people.
I that sounds great, but I don't think it sounds like someone who doesn't have kids.
So hang on, you're telling me that as soon as a person has children, my father's going to be amazed to hear that he should have been at the grocery store every fucking week with my mother because he never was.
No, I just right now can't do that because sometimes my wife isn't home by the time I need to go to the grocery store.
How often do you go to that's another good point. How often do you have to go to the store? Maybe that's the piece here we're missing.
Ideally, we like to do it at least or ideally it's like a once a week kind of thing on Sundays. Sometimes, have to run to the grocery store to grab something else.
So you want to go on Sundays.
I think the deeper thing is you just don't want kids out in public.
No, I don't think it makes sense for you've got a confined space that is a grocery store, and there's a bunch of people there, and there's carts, and there's people in the aisles, and people are trying to get around. It doesn't make sense to bring more people and more, space blocking than you need to. It's more efficient to just have one person go.
Well, sometimes the kids got to come.
Why do they have to go with you? Do they have money? Are they chipping in? Is it their week to buy?
My gosh, I wish they would chip in. This shit's so
So
expensive nowadays.
So they're not chipping in. So what the hell are they there for?
Moral
Moral
support.
support.
Oh, dear God. Dear freaking God. Yeah, so I park far away at the grocery store for that reason because I get a few extra steps in and I always return the cart. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yes. Okay. JB?
I will take the closest pull-through spot because I don't want to back out of a spot, and I'm very bad at backing into spots. Know your weaknesses, people. So I will find the closest pull-through spot, and I also return the cart. And if there's another cart left by some fucking Neanderthal on my way, I will also grab that one and do your fucking job for you. Be better. Do better.
Next question. So if it's not a grocery store, does that change your answer, D? Like, where do you park? Relative?
Yeah, because if it's not a grocery store, I don't mind parking like a little further away. I prefer like a parking spot where I don't have cars on either side of me.
So you don't use just like the typical maternity parking because you are umbilically connected to your fucking children?
No, I am pregnant with an elephant. The trunk's hanging out.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But no, I like I don't, because I do usually have my creatures, and if they're opening the door, I don't want them hitting the cars. So I like to park where we have some ample space, so that's not an issue.
Well, that is considerate of you. You know what would actually, I've heard of this. You know what helps prevent people from opening doors and hitting other people's cars? Is if they don't fucking go with you out in public and it's just you opening the door.
I really just don't think Jay wants kids out in public.
I do not want children out in public.
I'm pretty sure he just wants them in cages at this point. Jesus Christ.
Seen and not heard. Keep them at home, teach them well, and when they're 30, let them out.
Don't let them be seen by public.
They come out of their little cages, like just come outside.
Back in your cell.
I think if I did that, my kids would be weirder than they already are.
No, it's a diminishing returns thing, man. They're not going to get any weirder.
Have you met a homeschooling person? They're a little funky. I married one.
She's a sweetheart.
They are delightful. God, they are delightful.
Can you imagine if I tried to homeschool my kids?
Oh my God, they'd be so stupid.
Oh,
Don't do that to them. Give them an
No,
education, please.
Yep. No.
I think that would be a situation of a read for your degree.
Yeah. I mean, at least have your wife teach them if that's going to be the case, D. Give them half a chance.
Yeah, no, I can't. I also wanted to be a teacher for a hot second.
Of what, Jim?
That's a lot of book learning. No, of anime, I guarantee it. Anime and foreign relations is what D was going to teach.
I have no idea what I wanted to teach. I think I just wanted to be. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a surgeon / doctor. Wanted to be a lawyer.
What the fuck?
What happened to you? So many lofty goals.
I don't know. I don't know. Good thing I didn't do those. I would be way too happy of a person. No, when I was a trainer, or excuse me, a coach at the job that I do, uh, in one of my new training classes, I told them that before I wanted to be a lawyer, and then I realized how much school that was going to be, and that's why I was there, being their coach, because there was just too much work. Oh, and I wanted to be a cop too for a while. I even went to school for that. That was so
Join the
stupid.
club on that.
Oh my god, that was so stupid.
I can't imagine doing that job today.
No, and that's part of the reason I decided not to do it when I graduated, was just because that was right around the time there was insurrection happening, and the pay did not make up for the massive target I would have on my back 24/7. So the people that do it, God bless you, you have my respect, but it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, no, there's just too many stupid fucks out there nowadays.
All right, with that, I'm gonna wrap it up unless you guys have anything else you wanted to briefly touch on.
No, I mean, aside from maybe leave your kids at home when you go to the store, or Hannaford to go, or like Walmart to go or something, so you don't have to get out of the car. Do that.
I used to talk mad shit about it, like when it first came out, because I remember talking about Hannaford to go with a coworker, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's the best thing." And like this was before I had my own little cross goblins. I'm like, that's so stupid. Like, why not just go in and get your groceries? It's not that hard. And she's like, yeah, but when you have kids, it's so much simpler. You just do it online. You go and you pick it up. I'm like, I don't know. No, I freaking love Hannaford's to go now.
So do you do the to-go shopping now, D? Because if that's the case, you kind of parked up front. You ain't even got to get out of the car.
No, not all the time. Sometimes we do, but with this fantastic economy that we have going on, we no longer just go to Hannaford's for grocery shopping. We go to Aldi / Hannaford to try to save.
I'm surprised you don't go to where you get more for your dollar in that
I hate
grocery
Market
store.
Basket. No, I hate Market Basket.
Tell me why you hate it.
Well, the one closest to me is the epitome of a human zoo.
Oh yeah.
Because the people that go there are just absolute fucking animals. So I hate going there. The Hannaford's that I go to is in the same city, but it's a different location, and it's usually not as chaotic. But that Market Basket over there is insane.
If you go one exit up from where that Hannaford is, you get to a Market Basket where brothers and sisters are off limits to each other sexually, and like people actually behave like adults.
Well, absolute life hack for it all. Go an hour after they open. It's fucking glorious. My wife and I, we get there at like 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday or a Sunday, and it's a fucking desert. There is nobody there. It is absolute no man's land. So wake your ass up in the morning, get your ass out the door, and you will be amazed. Actually, no, fucking don't do that, because then it's not longer open for me.
Yeah, we're gonna drive all the way up there, go to your grocery store, just to inconvenience you.
Please don't, because I think JB and I shop at the same one.
Occasionally I'll go to yours. Most of the time I'm at another one, though. All right, bitches. Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this tomfuckery. So we did have one user submitted question. But if you want to submit something that you want to hear us discuss, we are certainly open to that with very minimal exclusions. You can email that to us at
Unconventional threesome at gmail.com.
Wow, you're picking it up, buddy. Or in most of the major podcast platforms, you can click the button that says send us a text, and that will come to all of us, and then we can review it. Once again, word of mouth is the best way to spread this podcast. So if you are enjoying it, please tell your family, friends, pastor, baker, butcher, everyone about it. And that will allow us to just continue to do this. You guys ready for the Craigslist catastrophe that I forgot that I do this segment on this show, and I had to quickly pull it up while you two were bitching and moaning about kids in grocery stores?
Bring it on. You had plenty of time to find a good one.
Give it to me, Daddy.
All right. This one is out of Activity Partners, out of the South Shore. It is titled Pole Dancer. Guy dancer looking for a long black pole to dance on. Ping me for details if your pole is long.
Jay, do you want him to send you over the contact information? And we lost Jay.
This is John.
This is D Money.
Yeah, Jay's here too.
One last episode, more than likely. Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck the government.
Keep the fucking kids at home.
See ya.
Podcast party time, grab a seat. Every listen feels so sweet. Tune in, tune